Hello and welcome to Tutorial CU. My name is Yannick and in this video let's talk about breakpoints and one special feature that from my side of view not enough developers know about. So first of all, let's scan the project. It's a console application right here, and well, we have a car class. It has an age and a property for speed. We have another method right here, which is simply creating a car array, just a random car array with a specific size and some random data, so nothing too crazy, right? And then we have our main application right here, or our main program. And here we are creating the array with 1,000 elements. We could also set that to 500 or whatever. And then we have a simple for loop. And inside here we check if the age of the specific car from the current iteration is equals or higher than 30. And if it is, then we have an old timer. If not, we have no old timer. So let's real quick just start the application. You can see what I mean. It's just like creating 1,000 cars and iterating through it. So you can see we can see some old timers, no old timers, old timer, no old timer, and all of that. So now, for realistic scenarios, when you have a lot of data and you want to traverse through that array, for example, doesn't matter if it's like invoices from a database or whatever data source you have, you maybe face some issues, you want to fix a bug in your application, and therefore you set a breakpoint to inspect the current value. So let's say I want to stop the application when I find an old timer. So in that scenario, which is pretty basic, right? I just set a breakpoint by clicking into that gray bar right here in the left side. So I set it in line 16, which basically means that in the moment before we execute line 16, the application will stop, but only if we for sure get into this if statement right here, right? So let's start the application right now. Okay, so you can see that the breakpoint stopped our application. Right now it's on hold, so the application actually entirely stopped, right? And now we can use the locals window at the bottom left corner or our cursor to understand the current values just like a snapshot. So right now line 16 is not yet executed. And as you can see, I is set to 4. So right now we're inspecting the 5th element inside of the array. So let's just take a look right here. So where I is equals to 4, you can see it's the 5th element, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is 5. So you can see the age is 35, and this is why he decided to stop the application and to show that we are now taking a look at an old timer. So here's a tip. If you now want to move step by step and execute each line of code, you can simply hit F10. Now you can see you jump into the next line, into the next line. You can see what happens really in detail and how much time each step took. So if you, after setting a breakpoint, want to move forward without setting like 100,000 breakpoints, you can simply hit F10 and jump into the next line of code and again check your values and all of that. Alright, so those are the basics of debugging, right? Now, let me show you what conditional breakpoints are. But before we do that, let me present you our C# Progress Academy. It's a self-paced online course that teaches you ASP.NET Core, Angular, unit testing, and even software design patterns in C# to really boost your C# skills and knowledge. We offer a 14-day money-back guarantee, and I'm absolutely sure that this is the fastest way on how you can progress as a C# developer. So please check the link in the description below or popping up right now at the top right corner. Alrighty, so conditional breakpoints. Well, seems like we can set conditions, right? And as I earlier said in this video, I really think that not enough developers know about that. So why don't you go ahead and simply right-click on your breakpoint and take a look at actions or conditions. So let's click on conditions right here. So let's scroll to the left. You can see that conditions is checked here. Now we can write a custom expression here, or we can check for a specific value, for example. And for our case, you can see right here that we are only checking if the age is 30. Now you can see that we only stop the application when we have an old timer, and that's only when the car is exactly 30 years old or more than 30 years old. So now let's assume that inside of our application, a bug appears when we have an old timer, and that old timer has a speed of, let's say, above 150 because it's an old car, right? And it cannot drive more than 150 miles per hour or kilometers per hour or whatever, right? Just any kind of scenario, okay? So in that case, we don't want to modify our source code, right? I don't want to add another expression here, another if statement, only to check our breakpoint. So in that case, I can simply take the cars here, so say cars, and then so exactly like we would do it in another if statement or inside that if statement as another condition, and I said cars I max speed. So this is a property from our car, right? And set it to if is true. So we can say if, for example, it is 150, so the max speed is more than 150, then the breakpoint will now only stop. So if we set it like this, and just for your interest, actions right here, we can show a message inside the output, but we don't want to use it for now. And you can see the plus sign on the breakpoint here, right? So we have a condition here. So let's just start our application. You can see that we are at I18. So let's just take a look at the element right here. We could for sure also grab it, but we are at I18 and you can see the max speed is 156. So we skipped another old timer, because if we take a look here, we skipped that old timer, we skipped that old timer, we skipped that old timer, and the next old timer, which had like age 30 and our custom breakpoint condition with a max speed of over 150, we are only taking a look at that one. So let's say, for example, you have any bug inside of your application, you don't want to modify the source code, but you also don't want to inspect like 1000 custom invoices or something like that. You can set some custom specific conditions to really speed up your debugging process. Awesome, and that's it for this video. So I hope you have learned something new, and if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel so that you no longer miss any upcoming C# and .NET related videos. So thanks for watching, check out our C# Progress Academy, and I'll see you back in the next video.